Welcome back. Now we're on to the lip trill. The lip trill is basically going like this, like a horse, and then vibrating your vocal folds as well. And similar to the hum, to the fricative, the two key modulators will be louder, quieter, higher and lower in pitch. So volume and pitch. With the lip trill, like the fricative, you have to have a lot of air flowing to keep the lips moving. If the air goes too slow because your breath is too weak, or your vocal folds are too tight, or your lips are too tight, or something like that, then the lips will stop moving, and you want to avoid that. You want to keep them moving no matter what. This, with the fricative, these two should be the bread and butter for a lot of people, like most other accents, I would say. In fact, I'd say every accent. If you're trying to learn the RP accent, you want a really nice flow of air, especially if you want it to sound very tripping, very smooth and legato, very well put together. You want the air to flow and to be acutely aware of your airflow as you're just linking from phoneme to phoneme. By RP, I mean received pronunciation. If you're new here, if you're coming from somewhere else right now, from some other avenue of the internet, and somehow you found yourself here. These warm-ups will help any voice type, any voice, but especially if you're trying to learn English, the received pronunciation, the dictionary pronunciation of English, you want good airflow. And the lip trill is a really good exercise to help you get that. So start with just blowing your lips out like a horse. Some people will be able to do that straight away. Others might struggle a little bit. You might want to push your lips together a bit. Don't go like this. Don't put your fingers on the corners of your mouth and squeeze them apart. That's going to make it a lot harder to do it. You need slack in your lips. You need them to be slack and squishy. So where the corners of my mouth are, watch really close. Pause and have a look at this, because sometimes I'll do this and people can really struggle to locate exactly what I'm talking about here. But imagine like a baby's face if you just wanted to like gushy gushy goo or something like that. You're gonna get the corners, and I like to get my middle fingertips, corners of my lips here. I'm gonna go out and down, and then sort of around here, just sort of squish up. Not too low here. That might help still, but somewhere around here. And you might find it a bit easier. So put your lips together like you're going to do a P. And then you hold a little bit of tension, almost like there. In there. And basically, we just want to get the lips going. Some people can just do that straight away. Probably a lot of people will do it straight away. A lot of people might need this. And there'll be some people who are still unable to do that. It's not the end of the world. You can do your fricatives, you can do your hums, and you can do other articulation stuff with your lips, which we'll get onto, until you can get a bit of mind-muscle connection, muscle memory. And literally the best way is to just tinker around, just play around. Try sliding your jaw a little lower, a little forward. That's what I tend to do. I try not to do it too much though, because I don't think it's good. I hold too much tension there for very long. And all the exercises, you want to do minimal tension, unless you're really trying to push the extremes of your instrument. Is what we want, something like that. Then you can phonate. just like that. Some people, you might struggle trying to mind muscle connect the two parts, your vocal folds and your lips, and the breath, the exhalation, which is actually three parts: your mouth, your voice box, your breathing. As always, with the voice, your breath, voice box, mouth. That's the flow of the instrument. Those are the three parts. All your power and energy comes from your breath, your chest and shoulders, your diaphragm, and stomach muscles. Your voice box gives it that vibration, the tone, the emotion, the timbre, the resonance. And then the mouth is squeezing, shaping, tripping the air and vibrations as they flow out to the mouth. Like that. So they give them shape, definition. The phonemes, the morphemes that we understand as syllables in waves, the vowels being in the middle, the consonants being on either end, and we speak like that. I'm going too deep into that now. Lip trill. Try that. Really light and breezy. Try getting to that falsetto. Not just the chest. To get to the extremes of pitch after you've tried a few of the lighter ones, as you are rising up in the pitch, you'll feel your muscles in here starting to squeeze a little more, and try to support that with your abdominals, your diaphragm, even your lower back a little bit, and squeeze so you can push up to the absolute highest pitch you can. Warm up to it a little bit. We'll try another. It made me bring my pitch up, my posture up there. I realized I was kind of down. It's the funny thing about the sound and the exhalation is you'll feel your body more through that sound. At the very top, watch me squeeze and go to another level. That's pretty much my range, actually. Did you see me squeeze at the very top? But I don't need to speak like that. No, you don't. Most of the time, sometimes you might go into that pitch for exaggeration or just for some sort of musicality in your speech and that variation. But just testing the upper and lower ranges can be a good exercise to help the middle ranges that you're going to use the most get even more comfortable. And you just start to get natural pitch variation in your speech without thinking about it too hard. Most people, their volume, their pitch, all the modulators, speed, rhythm, musicality, pause, we tend to not deviate so much out of whatever we're used to. You know, we tend to go path of least resistance, and over time we sort of stagnate into a certain usage of our instrument, and we don't move so much outside of that, and then we start to identify with that, and then when we do different sounds, it starts to sound and feel very weird and not us, even though it's not coming from anywhere else. And what you want to do is build the capacity, the range in your instrument. Doing the extremes, doing the middle ranges as much as possible. So that when you're talking normally, a little bit of variation becomes a lot more natural, and you just start to move a little bit outside of those stagnant, narrow ranges that you found yourself in. Okay, louder, quieter. Oh, that was trippy. I got to that place, I could feel myself about to cough. I knew I could go louder, and I felt like I was going to cough, so I sort of stayed there, and the feeling started to go away a little bit, almost like a massage on that area. Keep it loose. One more. Louder, quieter. Hey, there. Wow. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I could feel new weird stuff going on there. And I got to that higher volume. I can feel as well my left shoulder. I tend to have a lot of tension there. I think it's from carrying my school bag for, whatever that prison sentence was. It was like 16, 17 years, I don't know how long it was. Everybody has their little places they'll have a lot of tension, where the fascia might be a bit more glued up, where your posture or your feet position or something is creating an imbalance in your body, and that'll be the place you'll feel the vibration sort of getting deadened, or as you're going through your exhalation, some part of your exhalation you'll feel is a bit more sticky and a bit more tense than other parts. So, yeah, something to bear in mind and something to work on as well. It's freeing up those parts of yourself. But I think that'll do for the lip trill. Probably the best one to do that will very quickly turn your voice on, besides the humming maybe, and get things nice and loose. So if you're somebody who's very staccato, somebody with a slightly higher pitch voice, or it feels a little tight or a little nasally, use your lip trill. We didn't do quieter, actually. You can hear the slight vibration in there, but I've still got enough air going through to keep my lips going. Try that, louder, quieter. See how quiet you can get and still have the lips going. You might have noticed on one of the pitch ones as well, my vocal folds actually came off a little bit for like a split second in some places. You might find that when you go up or when you come down. A lot of people, when they come back down, they'll tend to come off, especially if they get stuck in the falsetto and they can't seem to switch back into the chest voice, which is a strange phenomenon in and of itself. But I think I'll leave it there for the lip trill. Hope you enjoyed that, Speechsmiths. Try a little bit of this in the morning, add it to your hums, your fricatives, your sighs, and get control over your breath, warm up your voice, and enjoy your day.